What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we're going to be discussing the sequel to 2009's Star Trek reboot, Star Trek Into Darkness, starring Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Carl Urban, Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg, John Cho, Anton Yelkin, Bruce Greenwood, and Benedict Cumberbatch. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I told you during the introduction here, we're going to talk about the sequel to 2009 Star Trek called Into Darkness. And this one, man, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out here right now. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, and I'll get more in depth into it at the end. Let's get into the review here, shall we? Captain's log, star date 202130.5. It's the year 2259, and Captain James T. Kirk is removed from command of the USS Enterprise for violating the Prime Directive after exposing the ship to the primitive inhabitants of the planet Nibiru in order to save them and Spock from a cataclysmic volcanic eruption. Admiral Christopher Pike is reinstated as the commanding officer, and Spock is transferred to another ship while Kirk is demoted to first officer. Shortly thereafter, Starfleet officer Thomas Harewood, who is sent by Commander John Harrison, bombs a Section 31 installation in London. During an emergency meeting on the situation, Harrison uses a ship to ambush and kill Pike and other Starfleet senior officers before transporting to Cronus, the home world of the Klingons. Admiral Alexander Marcus reinstates Kirk and Spock to the Enterprise with orders to kill Harrison using a new long-range stealth torpedo. Chief Engineer Scotty objects to allowing untested torpedoes on board without knowing their specifications. When he is overruled, he resigns, so Kirk assigns Chekhov to replace Scotty. En route to Cronus, the Enterprise's warp capabilities become disabled, and Kirk leads a team with Spock and Uhura to the planet, where they are ambushed by Klingon patrols. Harrison appears and kills the Klingons, and when Harrison learns the precise number of torpedoes on the Enterprise, he surrenders. Bones and Dr. Carol Marcus, the daughter of Admiral Alexander Marcus, open a torpedo at Harrison's urging and reveal that the torpedoes contain cryonically frozen humans. Harrison is taken to the Enterprise's brig, where he reveals his true identity, Khan Noonien Singh, a genetically engineered superhuman who was awoken by Admiral Marcus from centuries of sleep and forced to develop advanced weapons. Khan reveals that Marcus sabotaged the Enterprise's warp drive, intending for the Klingons to destroy the ship after it fired on Cronus, sparking war with the Klingon Empire. Khan gives Kirk a set of coordinates, which Kirk asks Scotty to investigate, which he discovers leads to a covert Starfleet facility. Enterprise is intercepted by a much larger Starfleet warship, the USS Vengeance, commanded by Admiral Marcus. Marcus demands that Kirk deliver Khan, but the Enterprise flees to Earth in order to expose him. After the Vengeance disables the Enterprise near the moon, Carol reveals her presence aboard the Enterprise in order to stop the attack. Marcus transports Carol to the Vengeance before ordering the Enterprise's destruction. The Vengeance loses power after being sabotaged by Scotty, who has infiltrated the ship. With the transporters down, Kirk and Khan space jump to the Vengeance thanks to Khan's knowledge of the warship's design. Meanwhile, Spock contacts his future self on New Vulcan, who tells him of his own encounters with Khan and warns that he cannot be trusted. After fighting their way to the bridge, Khan overpowers Kirk, Scotty, and Carol, kills Marcus, and takes control of the Vengeance. Khan demands that Spock return his frozen crew in exchange for the Enterprise officers on board the Vengeance. Spock complies, but he and Bones remove Khan's frozen crew from the torpedoes. And when Khan begins to fire on the Enterprise, Spock detonates the warheads, crippling the Vengeance. With both starships caught in the Earth's gravity, they begin to plummet toward the surface. Kirk enters the Enterprise's radioactive reactor chamber in order to realign the warp core, sacrificing himself to save the ship. Khan crashes the Vengeance into downtown San Francisco in an attempt to destroy Starfleet headquarters, while Bones discovers that Khan's blood has regenerative properties that could possibly save Kirk. Spock pursues Khan through the city, and the two engage in hand-to-hand combat. Uhura then beams down and stuns Khan. As Spock prepares to kill Khan, Uhura stops him and tells him that Khan is the only chance they have to save Kirk. Khan's blood indeed revives Kirk, and Khan is then sealed in his cryogenic pod and stored with his compatriots. When our film comes to its conclusion, it's 1 year later, and Kirk is giving a speech at the Enterprise's rededication ceremony. Kirk then speaks the traditional monologue as the Enterprise embarks on a 5-year exploratory mission. I really enjoyed this film. You know, like I kind of touched on yesterday, I think the fact that I know these actors and actresses from stuff other than Star Trek, I really am sinking my teeth into these movies a little bit more, so I'm getting more invested in them. I don't know if the storytelling is just better or if there's more action and drama, or if it's just the actors and the actresses. But there's something that is compelling me about the Kelvin timeline that did not compel me about the main 10-film timeline. I really enjoyed Benedict Cumberbatch as Khan. I'm so used to seeing him portray good guys that seeing him in a villain role really, really intrigued me. And I thought that Benedict did an amazing job. I also like the fact that Spock was willing to break his own rule about giving young Spock information about the future because Khan is just that big of a prick. Like, Spock was willing to risk it in order to make sure that Zachary Quinto Spock knew, don't trust this man. He will not hesitate to kill you. I really, really enjoyed this version much more than I enjoyed the Wrath of Khan from the main timeline. When it comes to my rating for this one, I think I'm going to give 4.5 out of 5 stars, just like I did yesterday. I really thought this was solid. I really enjoyed everything about it. And I really hope that Star Trek Beyond tomorrow does not disappoint. 4.5 out of 5 stars for me when it comes to Into Darkness. Make sure you guys get out there on the social media. Get those hashtags out there for me. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade JJ Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all your official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Renegade JJ Williams shirt, your Dad's Not Always on Wrestling shirt, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag StatBoyApproved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get you your official merchandise for the Jeff Meacham Network. 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, and so much more. Tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, make sure you tune in for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, when I will be closing out Science Fiction Month with my review of Star Trek Beyond. You're not going to want to miss out on that tomorrow, and you're not going to want to miss out the day after on June 1st, Renegade Recap, when I do my very first giveaway live right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as simulcast on the Jeff Meacham Network. 2 copies of Star Wars The Force Awakens on DVD, Blu-ray, digital, I'll be giving away. I've given you the information about that a couple times on this show. I will give away the copies and give you the information one more time when we're live on Recap. So make sure you're here on June 1st for that. Thank you guys for tuning in. I greatly appreciate each and every one of my loyal viewers watching the premiere, leaving your comments over here. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of my loyal fans who watch on demand, leaving your comments down here. Once again, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate you guys. I appreciate all my fans that tune in on a daily basis here to Renegades Reviews. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Live long and prosper.